Hello and welcome to SimCast, the higher education simulation podcast. My name's Tony Jeremy. I'm the academic lead for simulation-based education at UEA Norwich.
Hello everyone, I'm Lawrence Hill and I'm the chair of the simulation group in the School of Health Sciences at UEA Norwich. Today on the podcast, we are joined by Irfan. Say hello, Irfan.
Hello.
And Hannah.
Hello.
So thank you guys so much for coming on the podcast today. And we're doing a hot debrief of some advanced life support simulation involving first and third year learners.
If you enjoyed the episode, give us a like. Equally so, if you don't like the episode, give us a dislike. But we'd like to know why, so let us know in the comments below. To keep up to date with all things sim, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to check that notification bell. And SimCast is available on all popular streaming platforms. So just search for SimCast in whatever you choose to use.
Great. So guys, tell us just a little bit more about yourselves. Let's start with you, Hannah.
In like terms of like just starting here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm first year student, like 7-8 months in now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really enjoying it. It's really good. It's a lot more academic than I thought it was going to be.
So you're doing paramedic science?
Yeah, so paramedic science, yeah. So doing paramedic science. But it's definitely like exceeded my expectations. It's been really good.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
That's always helpful to hear that as a course director for
nice
the
to hear
paramedic
as a
program.
course director, isn't it?
That's nice. And Irfan, over to you. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my name's Irfan. Come all the way down from Liverpool, so good while away. Joined the paramedic course in 2021, I think it was, wasn't it? So it's been 2 years into the course now, and it's going really well at the minute. Coming into our sort of final couple of months, getting our dissertations done. But it's amazing to get our simulations back on again, because in third year, you don't get as much simulation. So when we do, we try and take as much opportunity and make the best of we can.
Yeah.
So I think it's fair to say that the paramedic program at UEA is probably the healthcare program where there's the most simulation involved throughout the 3 years. I don't know if you guys were aware of that, but it's certainly been written from the curriculum from the outset, hasn't it?
Yeah, we integrated simulation from the outset because we know that paramedics attend lots of rare events, and you can't necessarily rely on practice-based learning to provide all those experiences from placement. So, But today what we did was a little bit different, because today we ran advanced life support simulations with you guys, but we mixed up the year groups a bit, didn't we? So we had separate learning outcomes for first year and third year students. So the first year learning outcomes were really focusing on demonstrating the kind of fundamental basic skills involved in resuscitation. So confirming cardiac arrest, doing effective chest compressions, and sort of maintaining of those the airway.
Safe and effective debriefing. Not defibrillating.
Defibrillation.
I've got debriefing on the mind because I've been doing it all day.
Yeah, tell me about it. And the third year learning outcomes were really focusing more on maintaining situational awareness and leadership and communication.
And also, we got our third years actually having a go at facilitating as well.
Yeah, that was different, very different, because you're looking at it from when you're leading an ALS, you can see what your peers are doing in the sense of clinically and what they're doing for the patient. But when you're taking another step out and facilitating, you're then getting what the leader is doing as well after simulation, and you're getting more information in, and I think you can take more from it.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. What was it like for you, Hannah, as a first year student working with the third years?
At first I was quite nervous, like I'm going to be honest. But I found it really valuable, because I think as well, because we're doing ILS, so it's like a step down from ALS. So it's nice to see where it's going to lead to. And obviously at the moment, just starting, you feel like a bit like sort of scattered, like don't have it all down just yet, 'cause you just started.
Of course.
So it's nice seeing people who've done it for a while, and like it's nice to see, like it's quite reassuring to see like
you're going to be like that in a couple of years' time.
Yeah, it's quite nice to sort of see, yeah.
I bet that there was some trepidation and worry in the third years as well, that they were gonna that their credibility was on the line. So did you? How sort of psychologically safe did it feel for you?
And then did you keep your credibility?
Right.
I'd say so. I back myself. So coming into today, we obviously, again, we get a sense of year ones looking up to us as we did when I was in year one. Mm-hmm. I remember this exact simulation where we done it with the year 3s when I was in year 1, and ALS at the time was probably something I didn't get down very well.
Okay.
And now coming to a point where I'm very confident with my ALS, especially in third year, everything's sort of nailed down to a T. You know what you're doing. But then leading it and having a first year, which you know the feelings because you were there literally 2 years ago. So having that in the back of your mind, not trying to be too overbearing on them and trying to give them a little bit too much, but giving them enough to sort of enough meat on the bones that they can sort of deal with the simulation, as well as having that little step back and talking to the other peers that are in third year about the simulation as well, what's going on.
Yeah, that's really interesting to hear, because that for me is if I'm debriefing you that's if you're saying that in the debrief, that is a demonstration for me of the real world application of the leadership skills required in advanced life support.
Yeah.
Fascinating. What about you then, Hannah? What do you think you've got out of the simulation events today?
I think as well, it made me realise like more the different roles as well. And I think going into placement, like for my next placement, I think I'd feel more confident going to a cardiac arrest, because you sort of know everyone's job, what they're going to do, how it all, rolls out. Because I feel like when I first went to one, my bandwidth was very narrow, because I didn't know what was going to happen in the sense of the whole like clinical structure. But it was nice now knowing, everyone's role, everyone has a job to do, and it's just reassuring, really. And
we were saying just before we came down to record the podcast, it helped you to solidify in your mind what you can offer.
Yeah,
in
exactly.
practice.
Yeah, because I think as well, especially like first year, it's all a brand new world, and you're like, you don't want to get in the way, but you want to be helpful at the same time, and you want to know when to step back and when to get involved. But my mentor was really good. Like she'll say, oh, can you do this if you feel comfortable, and it does, make you feel a bit more competent to do and be helpful, more
good.
part of the team.
So we've been running this simulation event. We ran some yesterday, didn't we? We run some this morning. We're going to run some this afternoon. Now, I'm not part of the paramedic team. I'm a guest today in terms of helping and facilitating. What I found very interesting has been the dynamic between year 3s and year 1s, because when you work with the same cohort all the time, you get familiar with each other.
You get comfortable.
Yeah.
You all know what you're going to do, and often the simulation works really, really smoothly because you kind of have that reliance and dependence on each other. These simulations help to tease out some of the more complicated things when you're working with a team that's not familiar.
Yeah.
But the other thing I've seen a lot of in some of the simulations I've been is the first years who have been recognizing things and sometimes feeling able to speak up, but sometimes also that trepidation again of being a first year student. Can I challenge a third year student? Have you felt any of that?
At first, before we did our first scenario, I sort of thought, you sort of think, oh, they know more than me, I don't want to question them.
Yeah.
But I think as it got on and getting like working together, I found that our group was very, they discuss things and they ask you, are you happy? And you do get more comfortable and the chance to speak up. And it's also nice being able to ask questions as well.
Yeah.
Like things about airways, like the airway tree and stuff.
I've definitely seen a really nice culture within the learners of supporting each other and really sort of fostering that learning environment. So it's been great from my perspective.
Yeah, great. So if there's one takeaway learning outcome for you guys from all of the sims that you've done, so we did 4 simulations, didn't we, that we had a chance to debrief. So if there's one thing that you're going to take away, a standout learning outcome, what would it be for you?
For me, proper delegation between the team. Because I think I pace a lot. I think Lauren's picked up on it. I like to pace. So I like to see what's going on from literally a 360 angle. So I like to go to one side, go to the other side.
You were
make
everywhere,
sure.
weren't you?
Football manager's approach where you're constantly
very
pacing
similar.
up and down.
And then I do sports coaching as well.
Okay.
So I've got that sort of coaching thing in the back. So I'm always moving and wanting to see that everyone's doing their job properly. So knowing to step back, just stand there, relax, and have a bit more trust in the peers around you. And so delegation.
Okay.
Just standing there.
Thank you. And Hannah?
I think for me, communication. I think it's so easy to sort of keep quiet and stick to your own thing. But it's nice seeing the leadership point of view of because in the debrief, obviously you talk about everyone's role. It's nice to see they do want, you to speak about what you're doing. Because I think you found like in your head like it was like a checklist of sort of things. So it's nice because then they get a better overview of what everyone's doing instead of everyone just keeping to themselves, or you don't really get a full picture of what's going on as a leader. So I think it's quite important to have really clear communication for me anyway.
Great.
Fantastic. Well, thank you both so
Yeah,
much.
thank you.
That's
Really
all right.
appreciate your time coming in and for this hot debrief as part of SimCast. Huge thank you to you both. And thank you again for listening in. We hope you've enjoyed the episode and we look forward to bringing you the next one soon.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.